Hi everybody, welcome back to another CYT-Crypto episode. My name is Stephen Aitchison and today we've got a jam-packed show. As you can imagine, Bitcoin price has gone through the 200-day moving average, a simple moving average. I'm going to do a special, 7-minute special on COTI. Now I've spoken about COTI before as well and I think it's going to go up. I've recommended it a couple of times. I bought it myself last week, at the beginning of last week. Again, I've topped up, beginning of last week 116 Satoshi, it's gone up to 125. I think it could double from here, but I've never really spoken to give you an in-depth information on COTI, so I'm going to do that today as well as part of this kind of show. So I'm going to call it a 7-minute special. It might be 4 minutes, it might be 5 minutes, don't know how long it's going to last. Plus we've got loads of news story headlines to get through, plus I want to talk to you guys as well. Sorry I'm late, I was just doing more research on COTI and the kind of partners they had as well. So it's been jam-packed. I've been at it since 5:30 this morning. So let's crack on and see if we're live or not. Just make sure everything is up and running okay. We are live, got a couple of people in the house just now, so I'm going to dive over and get this show started. Okay, who do we have in the house? We've got Stephen King is in the house, Dennis van der Hayden is with us, and Chris Moo has joined us this morning. Good to see you. Brunder25 is back with us. Donny Don Matthew is here. RC the Hawthorns, good to see you, mate. Tim Gash is in the house this morning as well. Good to see you, buddy. Still doing those news shows. It's working. I don't know if it's because of those kind of news shows I'm doing, Tim, but something's working just now. And I think what I'm starting to do this week is going to propel the channel even more. Chris Cash is in the house. We've got Raphael Wheel is in the house. Welcome to you. Don't think I've seen you here before. You might be from the COTI crew as well. So good to see you in here. I posted a link in COTI Telegram chat this morning as well, just to say I was going to be doing this live. Mitch Dieter is in as well. Good to see you here. Okay, let's crack on. This is going to be jam-packed and we will see where we are just now. It's going to be a wee bit slow this morning. I've got loads of kind of tabs open as I was doing the research, so it's probably going to be a wee bit slow this morning. And Brave is acting up just now. I don't know why. I love the Brave browser, but it's kind of acting up, and it has been for the past couple of days. So it's slower than normal. We have an overall market capitalization of 247 billion. Bitcoin dominance has gone back up to 66.1%, as you'd expect with the price going up as well. We'll see who the winners and losers are in the top 100. Cardano is up 16%, which is fantastic to see. I think that's jumped up to about 570, 580 Satoshi. We recommended that at the beginning of this week in the premium group, and that's gone up a good 16% today alone. Nexo is up 13.98%, which is good to see as well. Synthetics Network, Ethereum Classic is up, Swipe, Riff, EOS Hedge, V-Systems is up as well. A couple of double-digit greens there, as we said, Nexo and Cardano, which is great to see. Who's the losers? We have Centrality, they're not down by that much, but Centrality, Bitcoin, the biggest ones. ABC, iExec, RLC. I expect that to go back up. I'm expecting big things from RLC. Nervous Network is up, Icon Dash, Molecular Future down as well. Not by that much. We've got in the red probably about 25%, 75% in the green. Satoshi value will be a totally different story because the Bitcoin price has gone up. So we have in the green about 20% and 80% in the red in Satoshi value, as you'd expect. People going into Bitcoin at the moment. Okay, overall markets, who's the gainers and losers here? Stream It, not Steam It, Stream It is up 698%. Don't know how reliable that is, but 139,000 volume. WavesBet is up. I think betting is going to be big this year as well, it looks like. 272% up. Ad Token, ADT, is up 240% as well on 656,000 volume. Civic doing well, 89%. I don't think, is that correct? I didn't see Civic on Binance going up by that much. Maybe it's just gone up. Is it the last hour? No? So I don't know how accurate that is. Bearchain is up 84. Cash, haven't heard of these. Unibright looks good. I think that was tipped by CYT-Crypto. Unibright, and it's gone up already, so that's really making a dash for it just now. Spiking is up, Red Fox Labs, Origin Sport is up, we used to trade that as well for a while, Origin Sport, way back last year. So there's a couple of good ones in there. Civic really coming out just now, coming to the fore just now, but I don't know how accurate that is with the rise. Unibright, I'd like to see how much that has risen. I think it was about 3 million market cap. It's risen 50%, it's 8 million now. So it was CYT-Crypto that done this within the last week, I think. Yeah, it was about 3.2 million. It's gone up to 8 million now, so it's gone up about nearly 200%. So CYT-Crypto had kind of tipped it. I don't think it's gone up just because of that. I think people have done their own research, well, some of them, and started buying in. So it's looking good for Unibright. Okay, crypto bubbles, we'll just look at that over the last 24 hours. That's over the last hour. Just looking at 24 hours, we can see green, 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 green. We've got a couple of reds there, Bitcoin Dash, ICX, Bitcoin Gold, RLC, but predominantly green on the USD chart. If we look at BTC, which is Satoshi value, goes down into the red for obvious reasons. We'll go to the hourly in BTC. We're going back up BTC, so people are starting to buy the alts. Again, Cardano doing well, XAM doing well, Seer Coin, is that Golem Network? Yeah, Golem Network. So a few bigger ones there. IOST down, that's probably the biggest one. And dollar value, you can see it's coming down a wee bit, it's mostly in the red, but still the big green ones there as well. Fear and Greed Index, where are we today? Yeah, I expected it to be up, it's up to 54, we're still neutral. I say between 45 and 55 is kind of neutral territory, and we are neutral just now. So people are not overly greedy, they're not fearful either, but leaning towards the greed side of things. And when we get too high, when we get to, I don't know, 70, 80 or something, that's the time to look at kind of Bitcoin price, look at the RSI score as well, and just say, okay, are we overbought here? Is it time to sell for a bit before it comes back up? I'll look at the sentiment overall. We have Bitcoin up, it's only to 52.29, which is surprising. It looks like that's coming down a wee bit, Bitcoin just now, the price. Ethereum is up to 70. I do expect big things from Ethereum. We've been seeing that for weeks now. I do expect it at $300 very soon, actually. Litecoin 58, sentiment score $59 just now. Expect that to hit $100. XRP still low actually, and 23 cents at the moment. 58.71 for a sentiment score. Binance coin $17.72, 61 sentiment score. And Cardano is up to 5 cents just now, 53.97 sentiment score as well. So doing well, Cardano. Look at individual coins, those are the major ones. See what's standing out just now. Grosvenor coin, we've seen that going up on Binance, 5.83%. It's up 374% trading volume there. Coin, don't know anything about that, but low trading volume. ARC is up as well, it's only up 1.41%. So the sentiment is up on that. So this is a number of tweets, and they're extrapolating the kind of language from the tweets and seeing if it's positive or negative and giving that a sentiment score. So this is what this relates to. EOS, high in the sentiment score, 79. Relative trading volume not that high, but it's up 8%. Energy is up 5% as well. High in daily sentiment. What else stands out? Spank Chain, $184. No, just discard that altogether. Ethereum is higher in the sentiment score as well. As I said, I do expect that to go up to $300. We're talking within the space of weeks as well. Okay, that's it. Just now I'm just going to jump back to the chat area, see who else we've got in. If anybody, we have G-Slick is in the house, Reverend Skidmore is in, Andreas is in, Funny Audio, Slight Echo, Stadium Simulator. Right, why is that? So I'm just going to see if you can hear what we're talking about. Audio, Slight Echo, Stadium Simulator. Why is that? Shit, I didn't have the microphone up over me. I do apologise for that. Tokyo Slight Echo Stadium Simulator. Why is that? Right, that should be the sound. Thank you for noticing that. I really appreciate it. And this is why I keep coming back to the chat area as well, not just to chat with you, just to make sure everything's okay. Sounds like it's in another room microphone. Yep, it was way back. I pushed it way back. And I do apologise for that. We should be good now. COTI, go get them. Rico Cotian is in the house. Welcome to you. Welcome to the channel. Good to have you here. Kukla is in the house. Welcome to you, Kukla. Good to see you here. So to you, Ngov. Chris Cash, yes, like it's in an empty room. Rico, much better. Yep, that should be the sound sorted now. It's because I had it over at the back. I always push it when I'm finished. Always push it to the back. Room. Yep, that's us sorted. Dang. Okay. Right, I'm going to be looking at Binance and KuCoin, and then we will look at COTI, the main kind of one we're going to be looking at today. So it's a 7-minute special. Cardano we can see is up to 583 just now on Binance. That's kind of top in the charts there on Binance. Just now it did get up to 588, which is good to see. So I'll need to update my chart. So if you're in the premium group, you'll know what this is. And I've not made a lot of calls recently because of the Bitcoin price being so volatile, and it does affect the alts. So I'm just going to look at this just now and update it. So this is the calls I make in the premium group. If it comes up, it's just a bit slow today. And when I make the calls, obviously, it has to be within 10 days that it goes up. And this is the calls for January 2020. Cardano 473 on the 15th of January. And 540 got up to. So I'm out with the date. So I'm out with it by 3 days. But we did get up to 540, 588. Would have given me a proper, or would have given us a proper 24.3%. But I'm out with that date, so I can't call that. And that's the other ones I've got there just now. Okay, what else is doing well on Binance? MFT is really only kind of flipping between 8 and 9 Satoshi, so you can't say it's up really 12.5%. Peril is starting to go back up after it kind of shot up, and I sold Peril to get COTI actually. I sold Peril to get COTI. I would have been better staying in Peril, selling round about just now, or selling round about the kind of 450, 470 level last week, and then getting into COTI. But you can never tell these things. But I was a couple of days out from that, but I was in Peril for about a month actually. I was in Peril. But I sold it and got into COTI instead. And I think longer term COTI is going to do better, to be honest. Ethereum Classic is up only by a small percentage point. EOS is up. Civic is up, as we said, CVC, but not by the 18% that was shown there. Unless it jumped up 18%. Yeah, so this was 492 Peril got up to. So I would have had a good chunk to buy probably a node, about 250,000 you need for a node, I think, in COTI. For staking, that would have been good. But they're changing all that system just now anyway. Okay, let's look at COTI. What is COTI? COTI, and it says here, this is on the COTI website, in an era of everything digital, currencies remain outdated. Currently, it's cheaper to pay in cash than to use banks, PayPal, Alipay, and the like. COTI is the first enterprise-grade fintech platform that empowers organisations to build their own payment solution and digitise any currency to save time and money. So think kind of PayPal or Alipay. Think about them and think about COTI disrupting that kind of service. It's going to be much cheaper. It's going to be much quicker. This is the kind of hope that we've got for COTI as well. So it's a kind of payment solution that's got on their Trust Chain network. So that's out just now. They've got lots of different partnerships here as well. I'm going to show you that in a second. And we're going to see the products they've got first of all. So we've got COTI Pay. We'll just look at them very, very quickly. So I want this to be under 7 minutes, so I'm not taking up too much time. But I do think it's worth highlighting. I'm going to highlight a project like this hopefully every day. So the products I've got is COTI Pay. COTI Pay can process all payment times, both offline and online, including crypto and stable coins, credit cards, and even a merchant's native coin. It also has built-in financing with interest earned on deposits and business loans. So it's definitely in that DeFi space, which is a sexy space just now. It's going to be sexy for 2020. It's within the DeFi space as well. Got white label payment network. Traditional payment system costs consumers and merchants billions of dollars every year. Imagine a global payment network of users and merchants transacting freely with their own payment method, digital wallet, coin, and more. So this one means if I wanted to set it up, I could have my own CYT label It doesn't have to be the COTI kind of label or the COTI brand. I could set up a CYT-Crypto brand and have my own payment network that way as well, which for me, I'm not really interested in that, but for bigger organizations, it could be a great way to get in there. Stablecoins as well. COTI is the world's first platform optimized for creating price stablecoins. By issuing your own branded stablecoin, you will regain full control over your money and data. We've got loyalty networks, remittance technology as well. This is the team at COTI. Shahab Bargeffen is the CEO, serial entrepreneur. I've seen him on a couple of videos, looks really good. Dr. Nir Haluni is in, David Asaraf as well. I've also got a couple of others that are not actually listed here. They should be on as well. Investors and advisors, they've got Black Edge, they've got Black Crofters, Lancaster Group, Base 16, Harjaka, Recruit and Wave is EY as well as investors and advisors. Okay, I'm going through this very quickly for a reason because there's so much to kind of cover here. This is the wallet I've got here. I don't know if I'm not going to show you that obviously. And I'm just going to connect to the mainnet. Connect. And I said no, it's not. I've not copied it, so I'm not going to show you that. But they've got their own wallet as well for that. So I wanted to show you that, but I just took too long in kind of keeping it open, and I don't want to kind of show you the kind of seed or anything. In fact, I think, no, I've closed it down. So they've got their own wallet as well. You can check out that as well and sign up for that as well. And this is kind of everything they kind of had done in 2019. They've actually achieved a lot in the space of 1 year this year, and this is on the COTI Medium kind of blog. And I want to highlight a couple of things. The COTI partnerships. This is what makes it interesting, really interesting for me as well. So they've got partnerships: Cardano, Phantom, Simplex, Chainlink, Constellation, Recruit. Chainlink we know is huge. Constellation we know is going to be huge. Simplex is huge. Just now, you'll know if you bought crypto, if you bought Bitcoin or anything crypto from Binance or any of the like, you probably used Simplex for it as well. Cardano, they've got AdaPay as well, and they partnered with Cardano for that, which is a big kind of partnerships. So the collaboration with Cardano Foundation of the past months has been successful in developing a pay with Ada gateway for merchants. It aims at simplifying payment processing as part of COTI's crypto gateway solution. Cardano Foundation will leverage COTI's universal payment solution, UPS, to power the Ada payment gateway offering, as well as further extend the utility case for the token. We've got COTI and Chainlink there, which is huge. COTI and Phantom, which is another big one as well. And COTI is a DAG related trust chain as well, which is in that space as well, which is really more secure as well. And so we like that about it. We've got COTI and Simplex, as I said, COTI and Constellation. And together with Constellation, Orbs, OneChain, BXB Capital and MidoPlay, COTI announced the formation of a Scalable Protocol Alliance, SPA, a consortium of leading companies that are building next generation DLTs for business intelligence and real world solutions. So there's a lot of partnerships there, a lot of big partnerships there as well. And it's not reflected in the price yet. This is why I'm excited about it. And I'm going to give you the details on that as well. It's not yet reflected in the price. So this is what's coming up for 2020, just very, very quickly. And nodes and staking, this is the thing I'm excited about as well. Nodes and staking will scale up to support the growth in our processing volume, allowing great rewards to all those involved directly or through a delegate. So through a delegate, you can get a community node as well, and you can get people to kind of sign up to your node. I'm not big enough for them to give me one. I don't think I'm big enough anyway for them to give me one. But what you get is a community node, and you can get people signing up to stake with you by the community node, and you get part of that. I think it's 0.1% or something like that. You'll get part of anybody that stakes with your community node. So they've got nodes coming up as well for staking. I think you can get your own node as well if you've got 250,000. I'm aiming to get 250,000, but they're kind of changing the way that works. So that the staking point of view, or the staking part of it, looks really exciting for me as well. COTI's multi-DAG, the first ever DAG that lets you issue tokens on top of the base protocol, like ERC on Ethereum, will soon be released. This is really quite innovative as well, and I'm looking forward to when this comes out. With monthly transactions grossing over 5 million, as you can see in our Block Explorer, and the credit card processing will be live soon to grow the volume of processing a lot. They will also announce a DeFi partnership with a crypto lending bank. They've done that already. I'm going to show you that after. Future releases of COTI Payment Gateway will also include support for credit cards, ETH, USDT, USDC. They're working on the tokenomics revision. I'm going to show you the tokenomics very quickly, but they're working on the revision for that. The Block Explorer will be improved to include more features. COTI Pay app for consumers will be released, and COTI Pay Business will be added as well, which I can use for my business as well. And exciting new partnerships and liquidity venues are to be expected, which means we could see it on more exchanges just now. This is on Medium as well. So this is the kind of news we've got. And where were we? Yeah, I'm going to look at this. This is the news. So COTI now provides Binance Chain token payment gateway for merchants, and they've been kind of reviewed by BlockFi, and that's I was going to put that up here, but I don't think it's fair. But BlockFi, I'll put a link down below for it as well. They've got a brilliant report on it. Cointelegraph and saying pay with ADA, we've got that as well. Finance magnates Cardano ties with COTI to build an ADA payment gateway. What else have we got in the news recently? Forbes had kind of highlighted it as well. Yahoo Finance highlighted it. There's something I was looking at here. They've got, yeah, this is it, the COTI annual staking rewards as well. You can get up to 25% for staking guaranteed for the first year. So I'm going to be looking more into that. And I've got a staking guide as well. Celsius Network formed a DeFi partnership. So that was the news that came out on January the 10th. So that was the one we were talking about previously. We were looking at there as well. The first community node by Wolf Crypto is now live. So Wolf Crypto is a YouTuber as well, and he's got a community node, and you can sign up to stake with him. So you don't need like the 250,000 COTI tokens to stake, or the 100,000 or the 50,000. You can stake with a community node as well. You see that once you're signing up for the wallet, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about there as well. So that's the kind of news at the moment. Other quick things to look at, and this is the tokenomics. The tokenomics of it, when I first looked at it, I thought, nah, I don't like that. They've only got 10% in circulating supply just now, but there's a reason for that just now. So 30% in the token sale just now is used. So as I said, they've only got about 10%. They've got 2 billion. There's ever going to be kind of launch of COTI, so 2 billion COTI, and they've got about 200 million in circulation just now. Now they're going to be releasing them in tranches of 6, 12 or 24 months, or 50% of tokens sold in the private sale, and it's going to be released every 6 months, about 12% or something like that. They've got incentive liquidity reserve as well, about 45%, and that's going to be for kind of business, for business purposes, and kind of for advertising and stuff like that as well. So 45% will be held back. 10% are going to be for advisors, 15% for the team as well. So 25% between advisors and team, and that's going to be tranched as well. I think 48 months for the team, which is a long kind of tie-in period as well, which is quite good. I think it's 48 months. Yeah, the team will be allocated tokens as compensation for early involvement and to incentivize 48 months in gradual release. And 10% advisors, 6, 12 or 24 months required as well. So that's the tokenomics, but they're going to be updating that as well and looking at that. They've got COTI Pay as well. This is kind of the products they've got as well. Looking at COTI Pay, you can see all this as well. And this is very slow. We'll just leave that just now. They've got loads of stuff going on there as well. Crypto Briefing looked at their review, and this is back in 2018. They've updated it since then. Where is it? COTI code review conclusion. Not decentralized. This isn't the next Bitcoin, but it's very cool distributed payment solution. We know they have quite a few merchants on board already, and they're expanding. This is using a stablecoin through a not quoted dime. Full nodes are low spec and can be easily run by someone for the rewards. Although ideally you'd be a merchant, since you get more benefit by being the originating source of transactions. So that was a review code. This is back in 2018. I just wanted to show you that the other kind of big companies like Crypto Briefing have been kind of looking at the code as well and deemed it to be quite good. BlockFire, I'm just going to show you, they gave it a score of 55 out of 63, which is very high for BlockFire. So I'll put a link to that as well. And before I go on to look at, I'm just looking at Crypto Potato, kind of done an evaluation as well for it in December 15, 2019. I've not written my own report for this yet, but I do plan to. I think this could be really quite big. Okay, let's look at CoinMarketCap. Just reload this just now. It's currently sitting at 122 Satoshi just now, and we'll look at the chart and look at where it could go in the future as well. 123, it's gone up 4.98%. We've got a market cap of 2.3 million. Now, when it first came out, it did come out at 6 cents when it came out of ICO, but like all other ICOs, it's gone down as well. So it did get up to 10 cents, but it got up to 1,066 Satoshi. So round about, what, 9x? Say 8x from here. So that's the highest price it's been since it came out, and that was July 2nd, 2019. And the highest has been a market cap, which is really dependent on kind of last price, and the kind of Bitcoin price as well was 4.78 million as well. It's kind of gone down. We started speaking about it and looking at it back at the end of last year, October, November, when it was low, and I kind of bought in there as well, but bought more last week as well because it was still low, and it's gone up since to 123 Satoshi this now. So that's the supply. You can see the volume here as well, 788,000. So it's got good liquidity, and you've got a good number of investors looking at this as well. It's got a good following on Twitter as well. And first, I think it's was it the Moonwalker? I'm just going to see. He's big on COTI as well, and I can't remember if it was him that first got me into it. I think it might have been. So I have to give credit where credit's due as well. As I said, this is really slow just now. Bear with me a second. I should have gone with Chrome because I knew Brave browser is slow at the moment. I just don't want to interrupt the momentum that we've got here. So TH, Moonwalker. Now, if you've not seen Moonwalker, definitely check him out. Well worth it. Yeah, this is a private account, sharing opinions, there's no financial blah blah blah. So he's got Vet, MWatch, Soul, COTI and DAG, all the ones I like as well. Every single one of them actually, I was going to say it except from, but every single one of them I do really like for the future. And he's got COTI up, and he's got these kind of moon rankings. He's got COTI up at the bottom, solid silver just now. I would imagine that'll be getting upgraded as well to gold on the next kind of tranche as well. But I think it was the Moonwalker that kind of got me into COTI, or looking at COTI, not got me into it, but first started looking at it. He's big on that as well. Okay, let's look at the charts for COTI. Okay, up to 123 just now. So we're going to go long term first and see where we are as well with it. So we'll go macro level first. You can see here we've got a low. It was 71. That's this all-time low. That's wicked. That's a wick low. So kind of this is a weekly, and we've kind of got a stable here around about 86 is the low, and that's a good base for it as well. That's a solid kind of foundation for COTI at the moment. So we've got a lot of support there around about there. More so on the daily. You'll see that when I switch over to the daily. And we're sitting at 123 just now. So coming off this all-time low, which is something I really love as well. It's really coming off this all-time low in Satoshi value. And this is going back to June 2019. We have had a high of around about, say, 1200. So we're talking about a 10x from here just to get to its all-time high. And a lot has changed since June when it first came out. So this is why, and this is what I like. I like a project that's coming off this all-time low. Nobody's really talking about it. And this is a time to look at it. And we've got big partnerships and a lot of big things coming up. Okay, so this is the support level, around about 85. And the next resistance level that we need to break through is 158. Once we break through that, we're probably going to go up to 217. That's the next resistance. You can quite clearly see that would be the next resistance. We had support around about there earlier on, so that now becomes resistance at 217. I think over the coming weeks, I think it's going to kind of smash through the 158 and probably go through the 217. Get a bit of support, kind of go along a wee bit, and then we're up to the 290 level. That's going to be the next resistance area. It has been previous resistance around about here in August. And then the exciting part is once we break through that 290 level, we've got a kind of no man's land here. We've got no man's land here, and we're shooting on up to 543. So to get to 100%, we're only talking 260, and we're talking in this area here. So we're talking around about this area here to just go up 100%. And that would only put it at 4 million, 5 million market capitalization as well. So I think COTI over the next few, I'm not saying few weeks, I'd probably say, when I'm saying weeks, I'm talking weeks and months. So the next few months, I think COTI is going to go up by 100%. Just looking at everything they're doing just now, looking at the vision, looking at the partnerships, looking at the news coming out, I think COTI is a really good kind of prospect for a 100% rise, and I think it's a crypto gem that we shouldn't ignore as well. And it's not like it's just an idea just now. They're actually bringing in money, they're actually getting users just now, they're onboarding users, and just everything about it just now smacks of a big rise coming. I think it's wise to invest in this one, not just to trade in it, but you can trade as well. It's looking good from a trading point of view as well. It's kind of dancing with the 50 EMA. 7 EMAs probably about to cross over the 50 EMA again. On a 4 hourly, I would imagine that's kind of crossed over. Yeah, it's just crossing over just now on the 4 hourly. So from a short term point of view as well, it looks quite good. The volume is up as well. And yeah, I think it's looking really good for COTI at the moment. So it'd be good to get your thoughts as well on COTI, what you think of COTI if you've looked at it before. So that's a very quick overview. As I said, I was trying to do it within 7 minutes. I don't think I've achieved that, but there's so much going on at COTI as well that I want to share with you. Okay, that is COTI. So there's a lot of COTI people going to take it. It's COTI time, says Raphael. Time to buy a yacht. No, it's not the time to buy a yacht. This is a long-term investment, I would say. Think of PayPal. I'm not saying it's going to be as big as PayPal. I'm just saying think of PayPal and think about the number of transactions. You're talking about $2 trillion per year of transactions going through in the business and community or kind of transacted. $2 trillion per year. If you only grabbed a small percentage of that, it could be extremely big. No, I wouldn't be talking about Lambo or anything like that. I wouldn't see it as an investment. I would say see it as an investment rather than kind of talking about Lambos and stuff like that. So we've heard that before, and I've kind of done that before with the likes of kind of Bab. I've done that before as well, but Bab was an idea. This COTI is totally different in that it's not just an idea. We've got the app, they've got the partnerships, they're actually doing transactions, a lot of transactions, and they're actually progressing all the time. So it's nothing like that, just in case anybody says, oh, you say that about Bab as well. And I know people are going to say that, but this is why my research has kind of changed since then as well. Raphael, cool man, quoted to $10 in 2020. Nope, I wouldn't say that, to be honest. So where is COTI just now? So 1 cent up to $10. I think you're kind of pushing it a wee bit there. A big bit, to be honest. Crypto Dread is in the house. Welcome to you. Multigad is coming, by the way. Yes, I've seen that as well. Or multidag. Yeah, multidag. Credit card processing. Yep, done that as well. Kind of looked at that. 10% circulating supply. Yeah, so Rowan Rocker, that was one of my reservations about COTI when I first looked at it, the 10% circulating supply, because there's only 200 million out there just now. 2 billion there's going to be in total. So yeah, look at that and I can see why you're kind of thinking that as well. But I think what's going to happen with this, they're going to release about 12% every 6 months. I think what's going to happen is this with the community nodes and the staking. I think a lot of people are going to take it out of circulating supply effectively and kind of keep hold of it for the staking rewards as well. So that's going to be a big part of it, the node kind of part of it as well. So if you imagine, I don't know, Dash, having a master node at Dash is kind of like that, and you just keep it for a while. If the price kept on going up and kept on going up and you were still getting the rewards, and you would just keep hold of that just now. So I see that as kind of happening just now, and obviously they're going to keep a large chunk for promotion of COTI as well. So that's my one reservation about it, I have to be honest. The tokenomics has been revised, yep. Kig is in the house this morning. Welcome to you. Paul Van Gosman is in. Kig, thank you very much for the $1.99 donation. Really appreciate that. Whatever happened to Request? They were once big. I don't know what's happened with them. Srikanth is in the house. Why is there no impact on the price? I think it's just because all eyes are on Bitcoin just now. So we're looking at these kind of small caps, these kind of gems that we've got out there, like this, like DAG, like Ocean Protocol as well. And I think that's the ones we should be looking at as well. And kind of in the DeFi space as well. If they're thinking about what spaces should be in the DeFi space, they should definitely kind of look at those as well. ETH1 is in the house. Welcome to you. And don't know much about COTI, but on the website they say they're the fastest, most scalable blockchain. Is that really true? At the moment, I would say no. I think that's a big claim. Again, we have to look at both sides. I'm not going to be totally biased. But at the moment, I would say no at the moment. There's still got a lot of things to come out. I think that's what they want to be. Rico, hi Steve, do you think COTI 0.5 in 2020 is possible? Up 50x, I think it is possible. If they get everything right, they do the right partnerships and they start to really kind of onboard users and they bring out the credit card, and the multi-DAG, the credit card processing as well. And with the wallet, they get more people into the wallet and get more people onboarded. I think it is possible, but I wouldn't want to say that, but I'd say at least a 10x would be possible by the end of 2020. Certainly 100% within the space of a few months, I think is more than likely to happen, to be honest. COTI is processing more than $5 million per month, which is a huge number as well. G-Slick, Vet, B-Pro, COTI partnerships with Celsius, yep, we looked at that as well. And that was the news, I kind of looked at that. So, as I said, this was a very quick overview, but turned out to be longer than expected. Right, what I'm going to do is look at the news very, very quickly as well. So that's that section over. Gary Permenton, NEO might surprise us too. Yes, I've been saying that for a couple of weeks as well. NEO is going to surprise us in 2020. Okay, look at the news, crypto headlines. Bitcoin highlighted his Lebanese banks on brink of insolvency. So this is another kind of country. I'm not going to talk about kind of Bitcoin here, but this is another country. We're seeing this all over the world as well, and I thought it's kind of important to highlight it. So this is another failed financial system. The root cause of the troubles in Lebanon began with mounting debt and then the sudden disappearance of Prime Minister Hariri, who emerged from Saudi Arabia, announced his resignation. Bank deposits plummeted and interest rates spiked. This is similar to kind of what's happened in Venezuela as well. Already heavily indebted to the US, they tried to bolster their dollar reserves by highly subsidizing USD deposits. Cryptocurrency investor Andrew Kang, a thread on Twitter, explained the ultimate effect of these policies. So Andrew Kang has got a lot of kind of details on this kind of Lebanese financial system kind of just going to pot at the moment. They're talking about it from a Bitcoin point of view, but they're really offering advice in this as well. But it's just to highlight the kind of financial system failing, probably because of governments and probably because of what's happening with the politicians and how they kind of manage it as well. So it's not because of cash per se. It's because of what the governments are doing and their kind of schemes as well. So this was Andrew Kang as well. But as bank loans continue to be paid down, the demand for bankers' checks decreases, further increase the cash premium bank account. Some people convert acquired cash to Bitcoin USDT in order to move capital overseas, many of them using the crypto to buy property in the UAE. There are increasingly more WhatsApp groups dedicated to this OTC activity. So more and more people are going to be buying BTC in order to move their money overseas as well. But I'm going to link to this as well. This is a really good article actually, and Andrew Kang has done a really good piece on that on Twitter as well. So check that out. I'm going to put the link up. Iran gives out over 1,000 crypto mining licenses. Again, this could be quite significant. Iran's Ministry of Finance has apparently given out over 1,000 licenses to mine cryptocurrency. This follows the legalization of crypto mining in Iran in June 2019. The reason the Iranian government has decided to hand out licenses to crypto miners is that previously miners were capitalizing on subsidized electricity in the country, increasing nationwide energy consumption by 7%, which put pressure on the national electricity grid. So now crypto miners in Iran are charged special rates that are higher than the cost of electricity for other Iranians. Generally, the rate is 11 cents per kilowatt, but in peak season during the summer, the rate for crypto miners can jump as high as 46 cents per kilowatt. So they're giving out these licenses knowing that the cost of electricity is going to be higher for these miners. Is it going to be worth it? That's the thing as well. But they've given out the licenses, which is good for Bitcoin as a whole. And this Launchpad could send Bitcoin on a massive parabolic rally. So this is Cole Peterson. He's kind of looking at some news. Further adding to the notion is the fact that Bitcoin is currently sitting on a key technical level that could act as a launching pad for its near-term price action, potentially catalysing the next major rally. And we're going to be looking at that in a sec. In the near term, the key resistance levels that analysts are keen on seeing Bitcoin react to is existing 9,000 and 9,200, which is around the cryptocurrency's local highs that were set last week. One factor should be considered in the near term is the fact that Bitcoin's monthly Bollinger Band is currently serving as a launchpad for the crypto, as noted by Polar Hunt and crypto analyst on Twitter. So this is the Bollinger Band that we're talking about. Monthly middle Bollinger Band is Bitcoin's launching pad. So I'm going to show you something else after this as well and do a bit of technical analysis. So this is a monthly middle of the road kind of for the Bollinger Band. You don't see the Bollinger Bands there, but this is the middle part of it. And once it's crossed over there, it usually kind of acts as a launching pad. We've seen it crossing over here already. So I don't know why they're getting their knickers in a twist about that, but they're saying that as a launching pad there. Now is a good time to go into Bitcoin technical analysis just now and just look at Bitcoin at the moment and see what's happening here. Okay, so we're down to $8,960. So it's pulled back a wee bit. So I've showed you this chart many times. I'm going to keep this chart in as well. This is on the daily for Bitcoin, USD and Bitstamp. We're holding support on this line. This was previously the resistance line of this kind of downward channel here that we had on Bitcoin. It broke out of that and it's using this line as support, which is good. We want to see that. And we're also holding this as long-term support line as well. For the last 7 years, this line going up here is long-term support. The red lines here are extrapolating information from 2017 to 2015 to 2017 and seeing the parabolic rise and looking at that, see if history is going to repeat itself. You can see this red line here. History is kind of repeating itself here. It's gone up to 9,054. So expected to stay around about there for this coming week. Next week, 9,500. Next again week, 10,236. But importantly as well, I'm going to turn off the EMAs. I've got this purple line here. This is a 200-day moving average. 200-day moving average. We pushed above that. If we can stay above that on the daily, I think that bodes well. That's an extremely bullish sign for Bitcoin. Now we're going to go back in history and kind of look at the 200-day moving average. And we're seeing it kind of pushed up here at 8,900 and pushed up to the upper kind of resistance level of this descending channel here, up to 10,300 before coming back down. Now it's trying it again to push over. Historically, once we pushed over that line, 2nd of April was the last time in 2019, it kind of went up, I was going to say, it went up about 100 and 200%. It went up when it crossed over there. It did cross over here, but it kind of looked like a false breakout there and came back down again. It's starting to cross over here again on the 200 MA. Again, historically, when we've seen it kind of coming down here, we've seen it coming down quite big as well. I think 2015 will be the time previous to that that's crossed over in the 200. Yeah. So yeah, October 2015 at $250, and it went all the way up to $20,000 there as well. So the crossover went up 200% just before the halving as well. So you can see the crossover here. It kind of went up, and just before the halving, probably about a month before it, it went up 200% from its crossover. So what does that mean for Bitcoin? If it went up 200% from here, we're talking 24,000. I don't think that's going to happen before the crossover and before the halving. Sorry, I'm not saying the crossover, but it's the halving of the kind of Bitcoin hash rate. So we could expect to see around about 13, I think, before the halving happens in May 2020. So we'll see what happens there. But 8,900, round about the 9,000 mark just now. So I'd say 9,000 is a key level. It's a key psychological level for Bitcoin. I kind of really have to hold that. So that is a key psychological level. And the 200-day moving average is one to look out for as well. If we can hold above that, that's a really bullish sign for Bitcoin as well, to keep on moving up. Should we fall below that, obviously we're coming down, but we want to keep the support here, and the support would be round about 8,000 going down to 7,700. So that's it for Bitcoin technical analysis there, a bit of a quick technical analysis there. Okay, go back to the news. Bitcoin Cash miners threaten to fork unless funding proposal withdrawn. I think this is just the crash of Bitcoin Cash. It's just a thing. The Bitcoin forks are just going to kind of disappear. That's what I kind of think is going to happen. We've seen Bitcoin Gold 51% attacked, but still managing to go up 25%. It's kind of a joke to me. Bitcoin Cash, possibly Bitcoin Cash miners have left with a bitter taste in their mouths. Have been left with a bitter taste in their mouths after BTC top CEO Jiang Zhu published his proposal to direct 12.5% of mining rewards to support the BCH infrastructure over the next 6 months. In response, anonymous North American and European miners have announced the formation of an opposing mining group. The group stated that it would be launching a competing BCH pool to offer a voice to miners that disagree with the proposal and to donate a 1% of our income to development teams. So what they're saying is we want to preface this by saying that we are empathic with protocol developers' lack of funding. We are not opposing having developers for the work appropriately, and that is imperative that this issue gets fixed for the long term. So Bitcoin Cash, there's some kind of problems there with Bitcoin Cash at the moment. This is Deutsche Bank as well. A digital currency could see widespread adoption within the next few years, a new report by Deutsche Bank suggests. So this was published on Monday. The Deutsche Bank report said digital currencies, while only a decade old, have been shown to have the potential to radically change payments, banking, central banking, and the balance of economic power. We believe a new digital currency could become mainstream within the next 2 years. According to the report, with both China's Digital Yuan and initiative and Facebook Libra project expected to launch this year, the report said that could make digital currencies available to more than 1.5 billion Chinese citizens and 2.5 billion Facebook users, combined more than half of the world's population. As current adoption rate, cryptocurrencies are running parallel to the internet during its early years. The report reads that should this continue, there could be more than 200 million blockchain wallets by 2030, up from 50 million in 2020. So this is from Deutsche Bank report. We've also got other reports as well saying it could unsettle kind of political system and the financial system as well. This is, again, we'll have to look at this as well. Don't be fooled, crypto market is still likely to see intense pullback. So we'll have to look at two sides of the coin here. Massive technical resistance could halt the market's growth. Because the future of aggregated crypto market hinges on where Bitcoin goes next, it's imperative to note that the crypto is currently pushing up against a key technical resistance level that could halt the ongoing trend. So this is from Dime, a popular Bitcoin advocate on Twitter, recently noted the BTC is pushing up against its 200-day moving average, which we've just looked at, which could mean that this will face a massive rejection at this level. So you've got, well, high there, 200 MA. Are we staying here long, or is this just a test? So I've just showed you the kind of 200-day moving average. A lot of traders are going to be looking at that 200-day moving average and see where it goes from there. So that could determine what happens, if it's going to continue with this bull run, or it could fall kind of drastically if it does fall below that and it doesn't kind of get supported. This is a story about local Bitcoin. It shuts down accounts in problematic countries. And it's not coming up just now. Yep, there we go. So some users cannot access Bitcoin Fund. This is for local Bitcoins. So Forbes reported on Saturday that users across at least 3 regions, including Asia, Africa and the Middle East, had noted their accounts to be deactivated. Local Bitcoin users in countries like Iraq, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Syria and Nigeria received messages from the exchange operator that were telling them they could take out their Bitcoin holdings by deleting their account. However, some users said they weren't able to access their funds. So that doesn't bode well for local Bitcoins. As well, their volume has gone up in other countries as well, so I don't know what's going on here. We need to keep an eye on that. Financial advisors should allocate client funds to Bitcoin, executive says. So Rick Edelman, who also founded RIA Digital Assets Council, recommended financial advisors to invest from 1% to 2% of client funds in Bitcoin in the case where the client meets the following conditions. They understand blockchain, is okay with holding the asset for several years to mitigate against volatility risks, is ready to lose everything. Speaking at Inside ETF conference in Hollywood, Florida, the executive said, Bitcoin is worthy of consideration in your portfolios. What is the likelihood of sustained volatility in the future for Bitcoin? That's what we have to ask ourselves, and what many advisors haven't asked. So if a lot of these kind of advisors did kind of suggest that the clients go 1 or 2% into Bitcoin, Bitcoin would surge dramatically if that happened as well. So this is getting seen in kind of investors and kind of stages as well. Ethereum poised for a 100% rally as 6 months of accumulation comes to an end. So as for the high, or how high the cryptocurrency could rally in the coming few weeks and months, Satoshi Flipper, a popular cryptocurrency analyst on Twitter with a track record of solid calls, explained in a tweet that he believes it could go as high as $340. So that's in line with what I was saying as well for the last few weeks and months, $300 for it. And while everyone is finally getting bullish on Ethereum, me and my followers have been buying since $131. Price today is $170. He noted while referencing a chart that shows his midterm upside target of approximately $340. So Bitcoin Jack, another crypto analyst, is kind of talking about the kind of ETH rally and what could make it rise 100%. The old market versus BTC is looking more and more likely it will finally pop and confirm a 6 month of accumulation. Could be a cyclic move. That means having the right alts is something you should plan for. Many majors look primed, like Monero, ZEC, Ethereum, Litecoin, Bitcoin Jack explained. So I think we've looked at Ethereum, we've looked at Litecoin. I think I'll put Neo in there, put Cardano in there, put XRP in there as well. Monero I've always kind of already looked at as well. But I think a lot of the bigger cryptocurrencies are going to pop as well, 100% over the next, leading up to the Bitcoin halving, to be honest. Other pieces of news, I know going over slightly, but I think this is worth it. And this is what I was talking about earlier on from Deutsche Bank. Cryptocurrencies pose a threat to political and financial stability, says Deutsche Bank. That's not in a negative way. Basically, the report adds, in the midst of these changes, non-sovereign cryptocurrencies pose a threat to political and financial stability. But it's kind of bullish, just saying we need a change for what's happening just now. So Deutsche Bank's report claims cryptocurrencies are still in early adoption phase, but pose a threat given the current changes cash is undergoing. While the report says it's unlikely to disappear anytime soon, talking about cash, it notes it's losing ground as a payment method as several countries removed large notes from circulation and implemented policies to replace traditional payment methods with digital solutions. So talking about cash there. Whew, that's it. That is the news as well. I told you there's a lot to go through today. I don't think we're going to get to a lot of charts, to be honest. Rico, what's the fundamental difference with COTI and other payment coins? And to be honest, I've not looked at other payment coins in depth, so I can't really tell you. Rowan Rock, an off-topic question if you don't mind. Kobe and his daughter just got obliterated in a million pieces the other day. Were you a Kobe fan? I didn't know of Kobe Bryant, to be honest. I've heard the news, obviously, and a lot of people were kind of devastated at the news, so I don't know about Kobe at all. VR, all COTI Moon Boys have left, come here pumped up and say Lambos, etc., and then leave. Yeah, I don't think this is for a Lambo. This is for an investment. This is not kind of talking about the kind of Lambos, talking about going to the moon and stuff like that. 100%, definitely I think is going to go up 100% over the coming weeks and months. Is it going to go to the moon? Who knows? I just think it's an investment for the long term and just want to keep an eye on as well. So we're not here for talking about kind of Lambos and moons and all that crap. We're here for investment kind of research. Whew. Okay, that is it. That was jam-packed show today. I'm going to cut this up and put it online. I'll do the COTI video, I'll do that separately, and I'll put it up separately. I'll do the news separately as well, so I can get into any charts to look at some technical analysis. But it's looking well at the moment. We know that could change any second with Bitcoin, and it'll be like chicken licking tomorrow possibly, that the sky is falling and all that. So we'll see what happens, but for the moment we're looking bullish, and that's all we can go on, just looking at the moment. That's it. Thank you for everything. Thank you for watching. Thanks for putting up with my kind of microphone problems at the beginning as well, and really appreciate that. And I will see you tomorrow, same time, same place. I don't know the coin I'm going to be talking, or the project I'm going to be talking about tomorrow, but I've got a list, a big list of projects I want to look at. But I will be doing overviews of them. I'm not going to go and do in-depth research, so you have to do your own research. So don't buy COTI on the strength of what I've kind of shown you here today. Do your own research, because this is not in-depth research that I've kind of done for you today. It's just a quick overview. It's just looking at the surface and why it looks good to me. And that's what I'll be doing with the other projects as well, because when I go in to do the research, I kind of tend to dig way too deep and kind of make phone calls, and it's kind of crazy. Anyway, I'll just be doing a surface one. Thank you very much again. I will see you same time, same place tomorrow. Last one out, please hit that like button if you like these videos. And until next time, namaste. Take care. Bye now.